Okay, mga kaibigan. So, pasensya nga pala sa boses ko. Medyo feeling under the weather ako. Pero, so ito nga ang Poco F5, which is arguably the best value brand new smartphone that you can buy right now for about $400 or 20,000 Philippine pesos. A little under that actually right now as of making this video. So, I've been using this for about 3 months now, and I feel like instead of buying and spending a small fortune on a gaming smartphone, just buy this. That's it. Thanks for watching. So originally, my idea for this video was I'm gonna compare the Poco F5 to a S21 Plus, planning on buying an S21 Plus with a Snapdragon AAA chipset, but apparently it sucks. So ito actually yung S21 Ultra ng kapatid ko, which has a Snapdragon AAA, and according sa experience niya is makakapaglaro ka na ng Genshin for like the first few minutes and it will become like a hot mess, thermal throttle, and stutter like crazy, rendering the game completely unplayable. So buti na nga lang is natanong ko yung kapatid ko sa experience niya sa S21 Ultra niya, as again I was planning on buying an S21 Plus with a Snapdragon 888, and sama magsabi dyan na, uy, yung Exynos variant bro, maganda. It's not really. It's way worse compared to its Snapdragon counterpart. Siguro more of a casual user ka, kaya mo nasabi yan. So again, the Poco F5 is my choice instead of buying a gaming smartphone and spending a small fortune. And yes, alam ko, the Legion Y70 exists with a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Pero ang problema dun, China ROM siya. So, ibig sabihin nun, madaming mga apps. For example, eto, nakatira ako sa Pilipinas. Apps like GCash is hindi ko ma-install doon, or some other apps that's only available here in the Philippines is hindi ko ma-install unless I go through some hoops and shit. Yeah, just a bit powerful lang yung 8 Plus Gen 1 nakalagay doon kumpara sa 7 Plus Gen 2 nakalagay dito. This is still a newer chipset while still built on the same 4nm process. The Legion Y70 doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is for me a must when it comes to like gaming smartphones. I mean, as much as I don't like the term gaming smartphone, I can consider this an awesome gaming device. It doesn't have any IP certification, and yeah, while I get that the Poco F5 and the Y70 are both mid-range smartphones, Lenovo isn't really known, at least based sa pagkakaalam ko, wasn't really known to make or put decent cameras on their smartphones, while the Poco F5 actually has a pretty good camera system for a mid-range smartphone. So yeah, instead of spending a small fortune on a gaming smartphone, I'd much rather recommend this Poco F5, which is already an insane value for right now, again, a little under 20k. And yeah, sa mga may questions dyan na, tatagal ba sa akin yan ng 2 years o ganon kasi every 2 years ako nagpapalit ng phone. Yes, I can confidently say yung performance neto will last you for a good few years. So pagdating sa pag-discuss sa different aspects netong Poco F5 such as build quality, display, camera, and battery, I'll just breeze through those real quick as ang magiging main focus ng video na to is more on sa gaming performance ng 7 Plus Gen 2, which is where most of your money is going. So first off, and I would say is the only real compromise that Poco made here on the F5 is some build. So you have a plastic frame, plastic back, pero Corning Gorilla Glass 5 naman dito sa front, and so there is some creaking and it does flex just a tiny bit but nothing catastrophic. And for the most part naman, para sa akin, I can just put a case on this and I'll be good. Well, the one thing masabi ko dito sa glossy plastic back neto is I feel like this would scratch easily, lalo na kung hindi ko to ginamitan netong soft clear TPU case that it came with. So my number one suggestion when you are getting this phone is buy a case immediately. And siguro one thing sa device na to, design wise na ayoko, is masyadong flush para sa akin yung power button niya na fingerprint scanner na din. So as nakikita nyo naman, it is, I mean, it's okay, it's not bad by any means, but yeah, it is too flush to the frame of the phone for me. And sana yung 3.5mm headphone jack, as much as I don't want to complain na meron na itong 3.5mm headphone jack kumpara sa ibang mga newer phones na nire-release ngayon, I would have loved it if it was at the bottom of the phone instead of at the top, but oh well. Dagdating naman sa display na to, so 6.67 inch na AMOLED, 120Hz nga yan, so very nice and smooth. Blacks are pitch blacks for the most part. It gets really bright and perfectly viewable even under direct sunlight. Pagdating sa camera, so 64 megapixel main sensor with OIS, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide, and a pretty much useless extra 2 megapixel macro, and a really good camera system for a mid-range smartphone. And pagdating naman sa battery nito, it's easily an S. So 5,000 milliamps can easily last me through the day. Sa medium to heavy use ko, so about 6 hours of screen on time with about 40% by the end of the day. Plus, if ever na mapatay mo to, before the end of the day, is you can easily charge this from 1% to 100 in about 50 minutes with that 67 watt fast charger. Actually, if ever lang naman na naghihingalo na yung battery mo, in the afternoon, ganon, you can just easily plug this in for like 10 to 15 minutes and you'll be good. And ang main focus nga natin for today is ang performance, mainly ang gaming performance dito sa Poco F5. Although general performance is snappy, wala kang magiging issues dito. UFS 3.1 storage, 8 gigs of memory with 256 gigs of storage. Para sa akin, no sense kung bibilin mo yung 12 gig variant nito. Siguro it would make more sense para dito if ang ginawa nila ng Poco na options for storage or memory is parehong 8 gigs na lang, pero yung isa is half a terabyte with 512 gigs of storage. And actually, a few additional features dito sa Poco F5 na gustong gusto ko. So dito sa additional settings, gesture shortcuts. So dito, you can actually back tap the back of the phone. They just like back tap. Kung gusto mo, you can easily take a screenshot with that. Madami pang comments dyan. Pwedeng double tap or triple tap kung ano yung gusto mo. Tapos another one is double tapping the fingerprint scanner. Hindi double pressing double tap lang. So sa akin nakaset sa turn on the flashlight. So double tap and bam. Very nice. But ito nga yung mga games na itetest nga natin for today. So Call of Duty, PUBG Mobile, Wild Rift, Genshin, and last but not the least, Ether SX2, which is basically a PS2 emulator, which I think is the most demanding ata na emulator right now that you can put on an Android device. So first off nga is Call of Duty Mobile. Okay, so dito sa Call of Duty Mobile is nakaset siya sa very high graphics quality, tapos max frame rate, which if I'm not mistaken is 60 FPS. Kaya niya naman ng ultra, kaso stuck ka lang sa low graphics quality. So para sa akin, very high tapos max frame rate is the sweet combination of eye candy plus frame rate. Tapos ito yung ibang settings niya. Yan, siguro para maparinig sa inyo yung speakers nito. So dual stereo speakers nga dito. So, very nice and smooth. And so far, wala ako na experience na stutters, but of course, I'm gonna play this for a bit longer. Oh, ginabaral na kagad ako, kaibigan. Puking nay. Fuck, brab. Grabe. Gusto ko pang tumagal eh. Papakita ko sa audience. Bitches kayo. So, not gonna like. Gusto ko na lang actually skip yung, wait. Gusto ko lang skip yung first 3 games na to. Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG, and the Wild Rift. Since basically pipitsugin lang yung mga laro na to for the F5, for that 7 Plus Gen 2. But hey, para mapakita na din sa inyo. So, I've been playing this for about 10 to 15 minutes or so, and so far it doesn't even get warm, bro. So currently 35, 36 lang tayo, kaibigan. Ayan, 37 dito sa likod, but that's basically it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Call of Duty Mobile. So, moving on naman tayo sa PUBG Mobile. So, pagdating sa graphic settings dito sa PUBG Mobile, it's basically the same shit as with Call of Duty. So, extreme frame rate tapos HDR na graphic settings. Pwede naman dito yung same 90 FPS option as with Call of Duty, pero stuck ka lang sa low graphics or smooth graphic settings. So, para sa akin, HDR Tapos, extreme frame rate is like the sweet spot of good frame rate and eye candy nga. So, sa anti-aliasing is 4x tayo. And yeah, power si Goku. So, I've never tried this shit actually. So yeah. Kailangan pa ba neto? Like, lumilipad sila, kaibigan. Damn, di na kailangan parachute and all, bro. Ano tang ina? Tong ina, kaibigan, kakaiba. Para lang masabi na naiiba yung PUBG ngayon. Yan ko. Sorry naman. Hater ako. Tangina pare. Down na siya. Wait, akala ko kalaban yan. Apple ko, ako nag-down dyan. Yeah, so far, wala akong stutters na ramdaman. So, siguro I've been gaming for about 30 minutes now and yeah, very, very nice. Ito pa isa. Si Frieza, puta na kaibigan. Hindi pa pwede mag-super saiyan dito. Fuck, I'm down, bro. And yeah, basically the same as with PUBG. 36. Highest temp. Tapos dito sa likod is around 36, 37 lang siya. Ulit. Weirdly enough, parang mas smooth sa classic mode kumpara dun sa Dragon Ball shit na yun. And of course, it also doesn't hurt na 1 mil, well, almost 1 mil yung score neto sa Antutu. Wait lang, ammo. May tumalo na ba siya? And moving on naman tayo sa Wild Rift. So, ewan ko kung magiging ganun pa din. Pero currently dito sa graphic settings is nasa 120 FPS option. Tapos high, medium kasi hindi mo pwedeng i-max out yung graphic settings dito. Ewan ko kung bug to or parang compatibility issue with the 7 Plus Gen 2. Kasi kahit na nakaset siya sa 120, may pagkakataon na ilalak niya lang sa 90. May pagkakataon na bibigay nga sa'yo yung 120 FPS na yun. So, matry ngayon. So, pretty much non-stop ako sa pag-games ngayon. Dito nga tayo sa Wild Rift ngayon. And mamaya-maya nga is magti-temperature check ulit tayo. So, as nakikita nyo naman dyan, sa top right is nasa 90-91 FPS lang tayo. Kahit again, sinet ko nga siya sa 120 FPS option. Bam! Pero ang good thing naman kahit papano is hindi siya bumababa ng 90 FPS. Yan, pretty much lock siya sa 90, 91, 92, ganun. 37 dito sa harap. Tapos dito sa likod, max temps is 38 lang. And moving on naman tayo sa big boys dito sa Genshin and Ether SX2. So dito talaga magkakasubukan. Okay, so dito sa Genshin is currently nakaset to sa highest graphics preset. So ayan, tapos 60 FPS, motion blur turned off as always. Max natin yung volume. Wait, nasa na ako? Nice. So ngayon naman, there's pretty much no stutters dito sa Genshin. So I've been playing it for about just 5 minutes now, pero quick temperature check tayo. So yeah, nag-increase lang siya to 40. Tapos currently, nagma-max out tayo sa 42. Ay, fuck. May malaking bitch, bro. Oro. Kailangan ko matapos on time. Pasensya naman. Kaya pala. Dami talaga mga Apple na motor dito sa amin. Kala mo yung mga big bike dala. So yeah, been playing Genshin for quite a while now. Tapos quick temperature check ulit tayo. Around 42 degrees dito sa harap. Tapos pretty much nagmamax out tayo sa 42, 43. Very, very nice. Pero of course, meron pa tayong last but not the least na test. Aether SX2. So at least with what I found out about dito sa Aether SX2, there are games na hindi niya kayang i-run, like, well, technically more demanding games dito sa PS2. Something like Dirge of Cerberus na legit kahit yung S23 Ultra ko hindi kayang i-run yun kahit na 1x or lower pa yung resolution niya. I think maybe the most demanding emulator sa Android right now, not too sure. So for example, itong SpongeBob the Movie is one of the more lighter games na pwede mong i-run dito na kayang i-run ng Aether SX2. And kasama na din dito yung mga fighting games. So kahit na over 4x yung resolution na i-set mo to is no problem. So para mapakita na sa inyo yung performance niya dito. So pretty much petix to sa 7 Plus Gen 2. Again, considering this is one of the lighter games dito sa Aether SX2. Aray ko po kung ano nyo. Pero quick temperature check tayo. Actually, bumaba pa yung temps natin sa 37, 38 dito sa harap. And halos ganun din sa likod. Dito naman tayo sa Need for Speed Most Wanted na kung saan legit. Kahit na yung S23 Ultra ko is kaya nyo lang i-run at 1x native resolution. So again, pretty much non-stop yung pag-test ng games ko dito. So, yeah, maya nga is another temperature check. Max temps na na-reach ko dito is 43 so far sa Genshin. Ayun, tapos nakita nyo naman, may parang weird artifacting nangyari which I'm not sure what that's about. Pero no slowdowns naman so far sa gameplay. Yeah, it's perfectly playable, nakaka-distract lang talaga yung mga parang glitch na yun. Okay, is it done? Medyo distracting yung mga artifacting nga, pero ganun talaga. And yeah, so I've been gaming on this device basically for well over an hour. So temperature check ulit tayo. Yeah, medyo tumaas tayo sa 41 degrees Celsius dito sa harap. Nagmamax out sa 41. Tapos dito naman sa likod is pretty much the same actually, around 41. And so far sa well over 1 hour na pagtetest ko dito sa Poco F5, ang max times nga lang na-reach ko is around 43, which is great. Obviously not the best, but great for a mid-range smartphone with a powerful chipset. Okay, so hopefully na-convince ko naman kayo na bumili ng Poco F5 instead of spending a small fortune on something like a gaming smartphone. Maybe gagastos ka at least ng 25k on a legit or dedicated na gaming smartphone. Again, currently on sale to for under 20k. So kung ako sa inyo, take advantage of this opportunity. No-brainer para to sa akin, easily recommended. Of course, I'll leave the links in the description if you guys want to buy your own Poco F5. As always, leaving a like is the easiest way to support the channel. Consider subscribing if you like my content and turn on notifications for all so you'll be updated on my latest videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Flip a bag, now I'm serving a Tesla. Going back, shawty with me, I stepped up. GTA for the ops, ain't no less stuff. Shawty born to be my angel, yeah, I'm blessed up. Cooking right up in the stew, got a cheddar.